Hello, my name is Jamie Lash, and I'm going to walk you through your Pilates mat workout today with Vesstra. Before we get started, I have started teaching about 6 years ago through Balance Body's program, but since then I have also worked through contemporary, classical, more creative, more athletic styles of Pilates, so I'm just going to combine all of those today to give you your best flow on the mat. Along with that, I will also be using Vestra's mat. If you have it, great. If you also have their Pilates kit, which includes the ball, which can help with stability, form, a little bit more of a challenge, and the ring, which can really add to intensity or formation. And along with that, your restrictive band here. So this is gonna really up that spice today, as you might see. And then if you have the not tied around band here, so the more loose band, that is also really helpful maybe for stretching. You can also tie it just like this restrictive band would be. And then I also love to use ankle weights or wrist weights if you prefer throughout your mat workout today. So let's go ahead and get started. For your end of day Pilates flow, go ahead and meet me on the mat, and then I will also be popping on the ankle weights throughout your workout today. So if you have those, go ahead and put those on. To get us started, just find a nice seated position, and then if we'll just start off with a couple deep breaths here. So just unwinding down from the day, big inhale. Exhale, allow the shoulders to relax. And we'll take a few more breaths and make that exhale nice and verbal. Think about the jaw, the neck. Take one more big breath. And then if we'll start with just some gentle neck rolls here. So you can start off with a yes nod, so chin to chest, and then roll your chin up, look at the ceiling, and then pull your chin towards your chest, lengthen the back of the neck out, and then lift your chin back up. And especially if you're doing a lot of sitting down, if we're at a computer, I know a lot of us are on our phones a lot. This is really nice to do just to help relax the neck. And then we'll go to a no nod. So just rock your neck gently to the side. Try to pull your chin over your shoulder. And just focus on keeping posture still and tall. And two more no's. And then last one. And if you'll need me for just full circle rolls today, so allowing maybe even through the sides of the neck and the traps to stretch out, right on top of those shoulders, and then reverse the other direction. And take one more neck roll. And then same thing with your shoulders. We need to let those relax. So give me some shoulder circles, just shrugging them up and down. Roll them forward and back. And allow the neck to stay where it is. And then reverse the other direction, just rolling all through the upper back, squeezing the arms. Two more. And then meet me with shoulders and neck neutral. Go ahead, grab your ball and meet me lying down on your back on the mat, and I'll draw both heels hip distance apart. Take your ball between your knees and then just lie yourself all the way down. Send your hands up above your shoulders, press your heels hip distance apart, and then hold a nice bend through the knees just for some pelvic tilts here. So you're just gonna roll your hips off, squeeze into your heels, and then peel your hips back down. We're gonna start off nice and small here, just to start with that nice muscle activation through the thighs, and then even think about the core as you lift your hips, tuck your rib cage in, and then inhale to peel it back down. Exhale, hold your ball just a little bit more tight. So squeeze through the inner thighs, and every roll, take it a little bit taller each time now. So now we're working towards a full bridge position. Squeeze into the backs of the thighs. Allow the hamstrings and even the glutes to waken. Take two more curls up and off your mat. Freeze your hips all the way down on this next one. Hold your hips connected on. Keep your ball between your thighs for some dead bugs today. So if you lift your knees above your hips, freeze your heels together, and just draw both knees down. Hold the bend. Exhale, drive it back up. And notice how I don't go very far here. That's because I want to keep my back connected onto the floor. So if you feel that your back starts to arch itself up, go ahead and just lessen this range. Exhale. Core is holding you nice and stable, so try to sink the belly button down towards the floor. Squeeze the abdomen. Tighten through the inner thighs. That means squeeze into your ball a little bit more. Take 2 more lowers and lifts. And then on this next one, freeze both knees lifted up. Begin to bend one knee and roll your ball between your thighs, and then send your other knee and straighten the other leg out. And we're just alternating from side to side here, squeezing inner thighs towards the ball. And if you like a little bit more of an ab workout here, you can send hands behind your ears, lift your chest. Start to take this into a bicycle twist today. Hold the ball nice and tight between both thighs. Rock your rib cage up and off. Squeeze your core. Let's go one more each side. And I'll do one more to make it even. And then freeze your ball between your thighs. Hold your knees up in a tabletop position. Send your straight arms down by your waistline. Make sure your back is nice and flat. Squeeze your knees over your hips. Begin to pump your arms up and down. And if you can draw your chest into a nice chest lift here for a nice ab focus. For your Pilates 100s, pump your arms really fast up and down towards the sky. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 1, 2, 3. It should sound like press your belly button into the floor. See how tall you can get. A nice option here would be straight legs for a little bit more of a challenge for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and ditch your ball. Send it down. And if you'll swap your ball for your band, you can stay lying down on your back. Just slide your band between or on the outside of both thighs. Draw your heels down to your mat. And just like we started with for your pelvic tilts today, this is gonna be your full range bridge. So just like before, squeeze your hands up over your shoulders. Begin to roll your rib cage off, lift through the hips, and then inhale to curl the pelvis all the way back down. Your tailbone falls down last. Exhale, round the spine, squeeze the rib cage in, and inhale to roll all the way back down. We're gonna do this a few more times. Just focus on keeping the entire foot connected onto the mat and stay active through the outer thighs as you squeeze your band out just another inch here. If you prefer a little bit more glute focus today, you can also take your knees out wider, almost to a V position. Squeeze the outer thighs. You can even hold the smallest out turn through your feet, which is called the Pilates V here. Just a little bit more separated. Freeze your hips all the way lifted at the top. Just begin to pulse your band out towards the side, tiny squeezes, almost like a butterfly here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Freeze here, just lower your hips down 1 inch, up 1 inch, tiny pulses. We're still working with that thigh work. Pull belly button nice and tight for 5, 4, squeeze the heels, 3, 2, 1, just a hold. Freeze your hips up and off, really get active through the thighs. Feel the hamstrings, glutes, and even the quads firing up. Maybe you stretch your band out another inch. Last 2 big breaths. Last breath here, hold it. And then lie yourself all the way down. And if you'll meet me on your side, I'm going to start with my right side toward the floor, and then go ahead and grab your ball with you for our sideline legs today. So the ball is just like your pillow. You can lie your right ear down onto it, so that way your neck is nice and aligned with your torso. And then go ahead and pull your knees back behind you so hips and shoulders are aligned. And I'm just gonna lift the heels up for a nice clamshell and then begin to roll your thigh down. Exhale, drive your left thigh back up. I like to have my left hand on my hip or my top hip so that I can feel that hip stacked and aligned nice and well here. Squeeze your left outer thigh. Right heel stays lifted just for a few more. And exhale. And also, if you don't like the ball, you can also be lying down on your forearm or lifted, stacking onto your arm here. Last 2. Last 1. Send your right leg all the way down, but freeze your left heel and leg lifted. Squeeze your left leg all the way straight. You can even point your toe here and just slide your thigh around into circles no bigger than the size of a basketball. So your left outer thigh is really working. And then notice how my right rib cage stays just lifted off of the mat so you can hold your core stable. Reverse the other direction with your circle. Freeze your hips stacked on top of each other, shoulders away from ears for 3, 2, 1. Freeze your leg where it is. Point your toes, sweep your thigh forward, and then flex your foot as you lower your thigh all the way back down. Last 2 sweeps. I know that left leg is really feeling it, but stick with me. You're done after this one. Last one. Roll your thigh all the way back down, and then we get to do it on the other side all over again. So I'm gonna be on my left side this time. Go ahead and take the ball with you, lie down onto your left ear. Band is still around the thighs, and you can hook your left arm underneath. Roll your bottom rib cage up just the slightest bit. Make sure your hips and shoulders are nice and stacked. Lift your heels into a Pilates V position, and then squeeze your left knee down into the floor as you open your right knee here. Exhale, squeeze your outer thigh. How far can you tighten your band? Make it nice and spicy. And if it's really starting to feel fired up, guess what? You made it to your mat workout today. You're in it, so stick with me. Just 3 more. Last 2. And then on this next one, you can lower your left thigh, but keep your top leg straight. Squeeze your toe forward, and then just tiny circles so you can point through the foot. Hold your hips and your rib cage frozen here. So you can take that top hand and make sure it's still. Reverse this direction. Don't forget to breathe for 3, 2. On this last one, freeze your heel at the height of your hip. Just sweep your foot forward. I like to point the toe and then flex to pull it back down. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower it away from you. Hold your leg nice and tall just for 3 more sweeps today. That right thigh should start to feel spicy, almost like it's on fire. Last one. Pull it all the way back down, and then bend your thigh in, and go ahead and ditch your band for some planking today. So once you ditch your band, set it down, and then you can keep ankle weights on here. I'll just meet you with both hands shoulder distance apart, and then begin to walk both heels together. Toes are up and nice and tall. Press your body flat into a board-like position. Hold your chin away from chest, and you can even softly bend your elbows here. Freeze for 2 more big breaths. Last breath. And then walk your heels hip distance apart. Press into your heels. Fold your chest down into downward dog position. Stretch the back thighs. Press yourself back into your plank. And you can alternate between this downward dog and plank. If you like more of a challenge, just freeze in this plank hold here. 2 more alternations if you are taking the downward dog. And then last one, freeze in your plank. Bend your right knee in, set it down. Left knee in, set it down for your mountain climbers. We'll just go a few more each side. You can take this faster if you like. For 3, 2, 1, and then send both knees all the way down. Knees are wide for a child's pose. Hands forward. Draw backs of arms into the mat. Sink your forehead down for 2 more breaths. After your last breath, peel your spine up. Hold your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. For a cat-cow, round your back up, chin to chest. Inhale, pull your belly button towards the floor, lift your chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower down. Just breathe in either direction here. And round your ribcage nice and tall. Take 1 more cat-cow. And after your last cat-cow, go ahead and meet me standing on your mat for some lunge stretches here. So I'm gonna send my left leg forward first. Right thigh is back. Hold your right leg or your back leg nice and straight, and just squeeze that back thigh down until you feel your quad and hip flexor stretching out nice and tall here. You can hold this for a few more breaths. And then even the leg that's bent starts to wake up a little bit more just through that hold. Last big breath. And then you can drop your right knee onto your mat. I like to press my left leg out a little bit further, so that front leg. Press your right hip forward and just lengthen away from that knee. So this is a little bit more stretchy. Hold your hips forward so you can really lengthen out through the front thigh. Last big breath. And then go ahead, step your right knee back up. Walk your back leg forward. My left thigh is back this time. Right knee is bent, and just begin to lengthen your back leg out until you feel that nice stretch in the front thigh. Freeze your left hip forward. Chest stays tall and open. 2 more big breaths. Once again, my standing front leg is starting to activate ever so slightly. Last breath. And then slowly lower left knee down, and you can bend your forward leg towards the wall in front of you and press your left thigh forward. And whether it feels nicer for you to tuck your back toe or press it down into the floor, wherever you get that nicer stretch, the left hip is forward for 1 more breath. And then go ahead and release that. And then if you'll find the mat and sit down with legs forward so you can draw them straight out together, and then freeze your toes pulled in towards your face so you can really start to stretch the backs of the thighs and hamstrings as you round your chest forward. Try to touch your toes, peel your chest towards your thighs, and sink right here into the stretch. Try to roll the back, chin to chest. Hold shoulders away from ears. 2 more breaths. Then slowly roll yourself all the way back up. And if you'll grab your ring here, just for the hands, you can walk hands out onto the padded portions. Squeeze your heels just about to the width of your mat or just wider than hip distance apart. Hold your ring in front of your heart, arms are long, and just round your chest forward. And notice how my ribs pull up and in, so I squeeze my core to draw the chest forward. Send your ring between your legs, and then inhale, peel the ribs up and in, round your back, and then stack your spine up nice and tall. Best posture yet today. Inhale to roll yourself forward. Think 1 vertebrae at a time to peel over the thighs, and then roll 1 vertebrae at a time to lift yourself back up. So this is primarily focused on the smallest core connection as well as a back thigh stretch here. And then while you have your ring, press into your palms. You can start to activate the arms. And we'll do 2 more forward rolls here. Reach your arms forward and then plug them in to lift. Last one. Get that nice curl. Pull the belly button in. Squeeze the core. And then lift yourself up. And then go ahead, swap your ring for your loose loop today. So once you have this loose loop, you can keep your legs straight forward in front of you. Grab your hands just about shoulder distance apart and begin to stretch your band over your head. Lift your chest. See if you can squeeze your elbows nice and wide. This can be small range to start for a warm-up. Inhale to roll down. Exhale, hold everything nice and tall. Really open the chest. And then on this next one, can you begin to bend your elbows as if you're sliding your forearms down a wall behind you? So squeeze the shoulders and chest open, squeeze your arms straight, then lower hands all the way back down. And as I lift and lower my arms, my shoulders stay plugged in the entire time here. So this is really nice to wind down at the end of the day, especially if you've been seated doing your computer work, on our phones a lot, just to help open the chest. And if you want to try a more advanced option of this, I like to go a little bit wider. You can hold your band, see if you can stretch your arms all the way up and over, down to your waistline. Squeeze your arms open, widen the collarbones, roll your hands back forward. Let's do this 2 more times. And if this is not happening for you today, that's totally okay. Practice makes perfect. And if anything, progress over perfection, right? So take your time. And you can stick with just that elbow bend up and down for one more. All right, keep your band, but if you'll just lie down onto the mat, and then we're gonna use this for our leg circles today. So you can hook that band on the bottom of your arch, grab the band just about a foot away from your foot, freeze your left leg, either bent or straight here. Bent is a little bit easier to freeze your hip still. Straight is gonna be more challenging to activate the core. Freeze your straight leg towards the sky. You can point your toe, then begin to round your thigh out. Start small for the circles here. And so the goal is to keep both hips frozen on the mat the entire time. So you really have to use the abs to pull yourself heavy in towards the mat. And you can alternate between a point or a flex here. And let's reverse this direction. I like to point to round open and then flex to lower back down. This is really nice just for the hips and nice ab strength here. And you might even feel a stretch and a little bit of strengthening in the thighs. Last one. Ooh, that is hard to keep your hips down. So if you feel like they're rocking side to side, take it smaller range. That's totally okay. Hook your band around the opposite leg this time. And then I'm going to straighten my bottom leg out. Hold your band. Start off small. Make sure your hips stay nice and connected towards the mat. And then once again, either a point or a flex. I like to point to lift, flex to lower down. Hold your ribs heavy onto your mat. And if this feels all right, you can take a wider range. Just make sure your hips stay nice and frozen. And I'm just drawing my arm around with my thigh to mirror it and make sure that band stays on. Reverse this direction. Hold both hips down, belly button stays heavy, so core is still activated here. Let's go one more. And then go ahead and keep your band. Let's keep it around that foot to start. You can bend your right knee in, lengthen your left leg out for that hamstring stretch. You can pull your thigh straight in towards your chest. And I like to flex my foot, so pull your toe in. Take 2 more breaths. Last one. And then if we'll switch to the other side here. So my right thigh is straight this time. Left knee stays bent in, and just pull your leg straight, pull your toe in towards your face. Give me 2 more breaths. Sink in towards the mat, last breath. And then ditch your band. And if you'll go ahead and send both legs all the way straight onto your mat, squeeze your arms behind you, roll your arms forward for a roll up today. You can peel your chin towards your chest, lift your ribs up and off, try to hold your legs connected onto your mat, round your spine. And I like to straighten all the way out at the top. Let's take a few more of these curl downs. And avoid using momentum as much as you can here. And by the way, you can also freeze this as tall as you can lift up. So if you're only going up to here, that's okay. Just roll right back down from there. And let's take 2 more. Tuck the rib cage in. Pull your chest forward. Lift your spine, nice posture, and then inhale, curl it all the way back down. Meet me lying down onto your mat. Sink into your hips and rib cage, and let's take a few more breaths to unwind after the day, so you can relax your shoulders. Relax the neck, the jaw. Let everything sink into the mat. Last big breath, biggest one you've taken all day today. And exhale, let it out. Once you've finished your last breath there, thank you so much for joining me. You have officially completed your mat wind down for the day. and have a beautiful rest of your night.